Yeah, no, we did, yeah, we did found books and everything in the library here, and we did, it started out to be Christian siblings or Nancy's siblings, and then it kind of blew up and it started all the children taught now, and so it's like it continues. And no, we did it for everybody that was in it and everything, but I've got it on Disney now, so, hey. I just wanted to talk. This is Twyla Barnett. She's making a presentation tonight. And then she's and keep them in line. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Telling the ladies, I'm like, I'm not even gonna try with this humidity. It's just like, I'm gonna. That's why I got my head. Bring it over to church.
How are you?
Were you over there checking to see what they were gonna prepare for dinner?
No, I was checking on Brooke.
Oh,
She's white.
oh, okay.
She got an awful good report. No spread at all, no chemo, no radiation. So
That's wonderful.
that couldn't have been nicer. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? And how's the wife?
We're just up.
Haven't
We're
seen
still
y'all.
upright.
I know, I haven't seen
That's all
y'all
that counts.
at dinner or restaurants lately, because that's where we would run into y'all. Y'all doing okay? That's good.
Had a good rain.
Oh, I know.
About an inch and a half.
I know. Yeah, it was nice.
It's just great.
Yes, sir.
I brought an umbrella, but I hope I don't get to use it.
I know. But it was crazy.
No, I
'cause it
hope I
was,
do get to use it.
Yeah, that's true. It was so cloudy, and then now the sun just came out. Like after that strong, storm that came through, it's just crazy how.
Some chance we can get something all the way up to 10 o'clock tonight.
Yes, sir. We'll see. I can't believe that we're already here in almost the end of April. Hi,
How are you?
how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Doing okay, Dr. Martin? I've got a mouse here. Ew. Me aventaron para acá. How's everything going okay? Oye, Sam. Huh?
He had his confirmation.
Oh, see? Oh, that's good.
It was a beautiful service for men.
Oh, so I'm glad the name change is on the agenda.
How are you? I'm dying today over the news. What time you got? I got 2 minutes till. What time you got? Okay.
Anoche en la casa me sentí una silla de esas. Cero.
Good. You?
I picked it back. And it tilted forward. And I couldn't. And it's really looking
Do we know the second?
What? Neither one of them are coming.
Do we know
I don't know, we're gonna have to go back to 7 o'clock porque
Because you can't make it.
Yes, they're not coming.
nunca vienen.
I won't have anybody to
You're going to be down here by yourself.
laugh with. Yeah, we need to discuss.
It's too early. Ahora, ¿qué pasa con Victor?
Can you replace it simply?
Le voy a decir, Mr. Flores vino.
Well, I have 6 o'clock, so I think we'll start the meeting. Dr. Underwood, would you lead us in a word of prayer?
For those who would agree, let's pray. Father God, thank you for the privilege of being here this morning, this evening among friends and colleagues to conduct some of the business of Southwest Texas Junior College. Thank you for the privilege of being here, working here, and being a part of these deliberations. We ask your blessing on our thinking and our discussion and our decision makers. Thank you for your many blessings. Look forward to your mercy and your will be done in all things. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Call the meeting to order. I'd like to recognize our guests. If I've missed somebody, please let me know. Our guests include Cindy Muster-Tiger, Xaviera Haynes, Derek Sandoval, Bonnie Harlan, Claudia Sanderlin, Margot Mata, Jerry Martinez, Wade Carpenter, Margie Leaf, Randa Shell, Luis Fernandez, Mark Underwood, Lori Compton-Betty, and Twyla Barnett. Have I missed anybody? Your name?
Dr. Heidi Escamilla.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Do we have an audience to patrons?
Yes, sir. Ms. Claudia Sanderlin on behalf of the Faculty Association.
Good evening. I am Claudia Sanderlin. I'm representing the Faculty Association. I've been teaching at this junior college since full-time since 2005. So I've worked here a long time. I know I've seen many of the old guard were working while I first came to work here, and I wanted to take the time to speak to you tonight because speaking for the Faculty Association, we're very concerned about the position of the college at this time. And we do want to thank Dr. Gonzalez for being such an advocate for our institution. We appreciate him fully. So we come to you tonight in support of Dr. Gonzalez and the work he has done to advocate for Southwest Texas Junior College and its position as a viable institution in Southwest Texas. We support his speaking to the Texas legislature as we are confronted by the action taken against us from Sul Ross and the Texas State University system. My colleagues and I also support the name change to Southwest Texas College. We believe it will increase our prominence, our viability, and also increase our standing among Texas colleges. Please understand that we need to move forward and embrace the needs of our society as they are forced upon us. So when you vote on the name change, please remember that the Faculty Association fully supports changing the name to Southwest Texas College. So we either change with the tides that are calling us forward, or we become a distant relic of the past. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that statement. We appreciate it so very much. We have reports now from the management program report.
Twyla?
Hello, I'm Twyla Barnett, and I'm here to represent the Business Management Program. I'm the Business Management Program Coordinator. I'm at office over in Del Rio, but I'm back between Uvalde and Del Rio quite a bit. I'm not used to speaking into microphones. We just have to talk really loud in class. So we have recently changed our name from management to business management and restructured our program in order to increase recruitment and to improve retention. A nationwide shortage of qualified management and supervisory personnel is slowing the progress of individual companies and affecting economic growth at all levels. This program is designed to meet both the needs of people preparing for careers in business management, as well as those who are already actively engaged in business and industry. It's structured to provide functional skills that can be applied immediately to the job. Program objectives are to assist students in becoming more skilled in decision-making and management, develop students' ability to understand business concepts, terms, and theories, and prepare students for jobs in the fields of management, marketing, human resources, and accounting. So the courses for the business management program are designed to lead to a level 1 basic certificate, level 1 advanced certificate, and an associate of applied science degree. The program can be taken entirely online, and some classes are also available through face-to-face and distance learning, as well as Zoom. Students are admitted to the business management program through the regular college admissions procedures, but the level 1 and level 1 basic and level 1 advanced are TSI exempt. The TSI exemption will help lower the barrier to entry for many students that want to get started in college but just haven't been able to pass that TSI yet. So the business management level 1 certificate basic is 25 hours. It's about 8 courses. It also comes with an optional QuickBooks certification and an Excel certification. Classes consist of classes like business principles, principles of management, accounting, supervision, business computer applications, and a small business management class where the students actually prepare a business plan for a company that they choose. So changes from the previous structure include the addition of a personal finance class and the option of taking spreadsheet and QuickBooks. Okay, so the level 1 certificate advanced is 45 hours, and it includes everything that the level 1 has, plus it has leadership, organizational behavior, marketing, business ethics, human resource management, problem solving, decision making, and a co-op class where the students get credit for a work internship. Students are also taught soft skills for the work environment and job application skills. The Associate of Applied Science degree has everything that the level one advanced, but it also adds core classes. There are many program outcomes. Explain the 5 functions of management and understand those. Demonstrate professional and ethical responsibility. Utilize problem-solving and decision-making skills, and these program objectives are all tested before they get out. Exhibit successful workplace behaviors. Perform a job interview and complete a job application, and demonstrate effective writing and oral presentation skills. There are currently 118 students enrolled in business management classes. This includes dual credit classes. We are looking into promoting the new program and certificates with area high schools. This is something that I just received today, and it's just kind of a head count for the college. Fall from 22 to spring of 23, we had 11 new college students. A head count for the total program is at 52. So we were at 27 last year. So fall of 21, we had 27. So by fall of 22, we had 54. So this is a 100% increase. So we're hoping we can keep growing the program. So apparently changing the program and changing the structure is paying off with increased enrollment. We expect fall of 23 enrollment to increase. The junior college and the workforce centers have provided several recruiting events, and we feel that this will help get the word out to the community and boost enrollment even higher. Fall to spring retention rate was 74%. The fall to fall retention rate was 41%, and that's one of our goals, is to start increasing that. Thank you for your invitation and to present tonight, and are there any questions?
How much of this program can they complete in high school?
Well, right now, they could probably only complete they probably could complete the first basic.
So
the
27
level one
hours?
basic, in high school. We probably have enough classes out there if we would get those programs on into and introduce the actual program in there also. That's a great question.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you for that report. We appreciate your input so very much.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do we have anybody to want to discuss the minutes of the March 23rd meeting? Anybody? Everybody satisfied with that? Everybody satisfied with the financial statement from March 31st? Any questions? Anybody have a question about considering an act on the designation of Professor Emeritus status?
How many people do we have at that designation?
This would be the first.
This will be the first?
Correct. And he's retired already.
Right, he's been retired for several years. I think it's a good choice. He did very well when he was here, did a lot. So we don't need to take action on that or anything?
Just approve the whole consent agenda.
Approve the consent agenda. We need a motion for the approval.
I move.
Second.
Motion is second been accepted. All in favor of the consent agenda being approved, say aye.
Aye.
Passed 100%. Next on the agenda, we have the President's report.
Yes, sir. Item number 6 in your board packet. Under the maintenance, no updates to that. On the legislative side, got a call this afternoon from Representative King's office that HB 1960 was voted out of committee today. So it has to go to the full House for debate, or maybe they'll just vote it through. I mean, it's all politics from here on out on the House side. If it goes through the House and comes out of the House, it'll start over on the Senate side. So they'll need a senator to sponsor it, and it'll go through a committee hearing on the Senate side, and then a full vote, and go from there. But they crossed their first hurdle, which was getting it out of the Higher Ed Committee.
What's the timeline on that?
It's,
More or less?
you know, I think the date is, the first week of May is when it has to get to the Senate for it to have enough time to get addressed before the session's over. So,
When is the session over? 1st of June?
the end of May.
End of May.
So
Who is Mrs. Haynes and Mrs. Herndon?
they're right here, Aviera Haynes and Bonnie Herndon.
Okay, thanks for going.
Thank you, it was fun.
And there's a link on the webpage of, it's called Texas Legislature Online. I can send you a link to it if you want to view the testimony. I can certainly send it to you, and you can view all of our testimony. So that's with that. On another note, the House and the Senate both have voted out the budget. We don't have exact numbers for what our funding will be. It should be sufficient to a large extent. They gave us an estimate, but it includes dual credit financial aid along with our appropriations combined. It doesn't give us the appropriations by itself. That number would be 7.2 million above what we get right now. I guesstimated about 2.2 million of that is financial aid, but we don't have exact numbers. So if that's the case, it would be a $5 million increase to our appropriations, which is about 50% more than what we get now, which is awesome. So it passed the Senate, passed the House. Obviously, there are different budgets. So the House has appointed their conferees, the Senate will appoint theirs. They will meet and hash out differences and vote out a reconciled budget between both of them. So we're getting closer on that. We're also monitoring a bill by Senator Middleton, which would strike the tax valuation threshold from the language of allowing a community college to offer a baccalaureate degree. So if that bill is successful, then that would open the door for us to make an application to offer baccalaureate degrees, which would segue into the reasons for the college, changing the college name by dropping the word junior, especially as we move towards offering a baccalaureate. Right now, community colleges are limited to 5 baccalaureate degrees. And it's not something that we would offer in the fall. We have to go through a lot of steps to get their authorization from the co-board to do so. And also on top of that, we have to do a substantive change with SAC COC to our accreditor that they're comfortable with us going in that direction. On the other, we have on May the 20th, the Texas Tribune reached out to us several months ago if we would help them host a panel discussion titled Uvalde Recovery, Resilience, and Healing. We're going to host it in the Tate Auditorium. There's 3 panels that will be seated to discuss the different topics, 1 topic on recovery, 1 on resilience, and 1 on healing. It'll begin roughly about 9 o'clock. We'll have more information, out on advertised social media as we get a little closer. But that'll happen on May the 20th in the Tate Auditorium, probably from 9 to 2, more or less.
It's a Saturday?
It's a Saturday. And then on upcoming meetings, so on the 26th, you see that I'll be in Austin for TCC quarterly meeting. I'm actually going to back that up and leave the 25th and go make some rounds with the senators in preparation for 1960 going over to the Senate. I want to at least have some initial discussions. I've talked to our reps, Senator Gutierrez, Senator Safarini, and Senator Flores. They've all, been made aware of our concerns. So I'll start there and then kind of work out and visit with other senators on our concerns with that bill. kind
Mr. Gonzalez, do you think it'll have more difficulty through the Senate than it did through the House, or?
I don't know. I mean, Texas, the Texas state system is burning a lot of political capital to push this through. So they're having to pull cards and get some of these other reps to help them get it over the line. I'm sure they're meeting as we speak with senators as well. So,
What's the position of our state senator? Which areas?
the last time I spoke to him, he was against it.
He's against the 1960?
Mhm. I'll reaffirm that.
Is there anything we could do to help push him? Should we write a letter? Should we go up there, or should we?
Well,
Make
once we get a notice for a hearing, then for sure we need to, be up there. But we also need to work on the members of the Senate Higher Ed Committee and address those, because those are the ones that will take that initial vote to get it out of there. And Senator Flores sits on that committee, so I'm working closely with him, because he'll be on the committee that takes.
Is his position opposing it?
He says he would help the junior college, so he hasn't said exactly where he stands on this, but
What about Gutierrez?
he's very supportive of our position as well. But that'll be the nature of my visit on Tuesday, just to go see where everybody stands. Those are the main updates from what I had provided you. The bulk of my time has been, trying to gather support against 1960. And I'm very appreciative of our faculty and students that went, and Dr. Watkins for going up there and giving it our all to make them aware.
My feeling is that they're getting nothing that they already have, except a $30 million expense.
And that's absolutely correct. Everything that a downward expansion would offer them, we're offering right now.
Yes.
So that is not holding Sul Ross back from any program expansion that they wanted to do, as far as going into a different bachelor's degree, a different master's degree. They have all the mechanisms available to offer a bachelor's in engineering if they wanted to, a bachelor's in music, bachelor's in art, bachelor's in kinesiology, bachelor's in pre-law, medicine, whatever. They have the ability to do that right now without downward expanding. All downward expanding is going to do is unnecessary competition between two institutions for the same students. That's all it's going to do, because there's nothing that they would need. There isn't anything that they would need, that a student would need at the freshman or sophomore level, that we can't provide. We transfer students every year to universities across the state, across this nation, that are in pre-law, that are pre-med, that are engineering. So we have articulation agreements with Angelo State, where 2 years here, 2 years there, and they're a mechanical engineer. So there's nothing prohibiting them from doing that. They just want the easy downward expansion and to take our students. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
My question is, where are they going to get students from? They're not going to get people from Eagle Pass. They're not going to get people from Uvalde. They're not going to get people from
They're after our students from
The only ones they're going to get are the ones that they've already got over there now.
And on top of that, so we're in the communities of Eagle Pass, Del Rio, Uvalde, Crystal City, Hondo, Pearsall. I mean, we've taken education to them. Their new model is we're only going to offer the classes in Eagle Pass. So now if you're a student, a resident of Del Rio or Uvalde, you're going to have to travel to Eagle Pass to take your bachelor's degrees over there. So it makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever.
It's the same distance for them to go to from Del Rio to Eagle Pass as it is to come to Uvalde. If you're in Del Rio, which direction are you going to go? East or south? Thank you, Hector.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that very much. Next on the agenda is to discuss the activity of changing the college name.
So right now there's 4 colleges with the word junior still in them. Paris Junior College, Tyler Junior College, Wharton Junior College, and Southwest Texas Junior College. We're proposing that we just drop the word junior and keep Southwest Texas College as a way to start moving towards that date in the future where we will be able to offer baccalaureate degrees. And it's an image, it's a perception issue for the students where, you know, why am I getting a bachelor's degree from a junior college? And we eliminate that from the perception issues and just have Southwest Texas College. And I think that is it'll be a process, you know, we've got to change our flags, we've got to change our logos and so forth, but I mean, that all can be done. And we'll do it in a systematic way to transition. But that would be our recommendation, just to strike the word junior from the official name of the college.
How long do you feel like it would take to make the change?
Probably within 1 year, we could have, you know, signs redone and, you know, everything digital is on letterhead, so we don't print letterhead anymore, so we're not really going through paperwork. It's just a matter of changing the logo. But going back and changing signs, changing all of our logos on our vehicles, the flags and stuff like that, you know, I think we could get it done in less than a year.
What's the anticipated cost of this change?
I don't have a number for you there.
Is it likely to be expensive or something done very easily?
Probably the most expensive part would be changing the names on the buildings themselves. You know, taking letters down, moving spacing across. But, you know, a flag isn't that expensive. We're just new artwork and you know, order new flags. The decals are not that expensive. I would say probably less than $50,000 to go through that, and I think that's a very, you know, conservative number. I don't think we'll reach that.
And I think we'll make up the cost in student recruitment too. You know, I've always been an advocate of that. 10 years ago, we tried to change it, and I know, I'm just sorry to hear Ms. Blair didn't make the meeting because I invited her, I called her, and she was very adamant about trying to be here, but she had another commitment. But, you know, we tried 10 years ago, and there was a lot of logic, a lot of presentations, and people were supportive, but it just didn't happen. But I'm glad to hear that we're now going to move in that direction. I'm not glad to hear the reason we're doing it because of what's going on with 1960, right. But still, I think it's going to help us in the long run, and it's going to pay off no matter what it costs in the long run. So I'm a big advocate of changing that.
Brianna?
I think it's a great idea. And like Tony said, it's not for the right reasons, but I think it's going to help our students, and it's going to help our college in the way that we already do a great job. You know, top 10 in the nation. I mean, we're already big. And so this is just going to match the great staff that we have and all the hard work that everybody does here.
I agree. That it will. I know we had someone before us that wanted it to change, and her thinking was that the name had a negative, you know, saying Southwest Texas Junior College. I never thought that. I just thought the students and everyone made that Southwest Texas Junior College, like you said, a very upstanding college, whether it was junior or community or whatever. But I agree. I think the time is to change.
Go ahead.
I feel the same way. You know, 10 years ago, as Tony said, a little nostalgic because, you know, we got our start here, and my oldest brother got to start here, and so it was kind of, but as we've gotten older, you know, it's gotten to the point where I think it's time that we we changed the name, and because it, like Tony said, it's going to help our recruitment. And I look at San Marcos, Texas State. Now, it's had a couple, two, maybe 3 changes already. It used to be Southwest Texas State Teachers College, and then, and for a good reason, because they were recruiting a lot of people from this area. And so I think that it'll help our recruitment. We certainly want to bring in as many, students. We provide for them accessibility and affordability. It's in spite of the fact that it's a junior college at the present, but I think it'll help us, even more, to change it to, like I said.
You think we've outgrown our old pants?
Well, I certainly have. but I think it would help us, and I think getting a degree, like you said, looking at bachelor's from a junior college, would perhaps in people's mind would not carry, the prestige, yes, that you would from just a senior type, college.
Thank you. Do we have any indication of what our members think? Are they in support?
Victor was in support. Mr. Munoz didn't, I didn't ask him.
Do you think we should ask him before we vote?
In my opinion, I think he'd be supportive of it.
Okay.
So that's a big, yeah.
Yep.
So do we need a motion to go ahead and approve it at this time, or should we wait?
If the board is ready.
Get there. It looks like we've got universal approval now. That's a majority of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor seems to be very much in favor that he's expressed. So I think it's time to vote.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion?
I would like to take the honor of making the motion to change the name.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Do all agree to vote at this time? Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Seems like we have a universal motion. Thank you.
That means we gotta hold on to our old diplomas from here, because they're gonna be collector's items.
They are.
With the junior in there.
So just to be clear, the name will be Southwest Texas College. And the hardest thing, I didn't want to say this before, is going to be retraining our brains to not say junior.
To not say J, SWTJ.
Thank you.
I want to thank Ms. Sunderland for presenting, because I'd like to hear what the staff has to say too. And so I think you're the very first audience to patron that we've ever had. So that was I appreciate it.
History was made.
That's right.
And Barbara Blair, the last time it was brought up, had a very good presentation. It seemed like Rudy was very much against it. And his time has come. So that motion passed. Now we have consider an act on some student handbook changes.
Ms. Margot Mata will present this.
Good evening. I provided a summary sheet in your packet of the proposed changes and updates for our 23-24 student handbook. Page 4 and 5 are personnel updates, changing and adding, Mrs. Lisa Ermis as the Vice President of Finance, and then of course changing the number, contact information number for the Outreach Director on page 5. Page 12, on available sports, co-ed sports, we've just added intramural. I think that's a way of making sure that, intramural is just defining the sports, that we offer within the institution. And then on page 22, there's a statement addition on course load. Preferred, we changed from what was stated as normal course load to preferred course load. And then of course, in addition, we've also put in the preferred course load for first and second 8-week semesters. So that's an added statement there. In the subsequent paragraph, we're also, it's an explanation of the prerequisite requirements. Students pre-registered in the first and 8-week courses, and then we provided an example for students so that they can further understand what those requirements are and what would happen. We talk about an automatic withdrawal if a student does not meet the prerequisites in the first 8 weeks and are pre-registered for the second 8 weeks. So we feel that providing an example and adding that in the handbook would help with the explanation for the student. And these are the proposed changes, so I'm asking for the board to approve our proposed changes and updates for the new standard handbook.
These preferred course loads don't limit somebody to taking an extra course or two.
Correct.
So they could really take 4 courses if they want to instead of
We
2.
would, right. And then at the full, of course, a full term is 12 hours, but, we've been pushing, I know for completion, in our momentum points, we've been really pushing for students to take 15 so that they can complete 30 hours within the first year. So that's why, we have that stated, but yeah, of course, they can take 12. They can take up to 16 without approval from the VP of Academic Affairs if they wanted to take some additional courses.
But there's nothing to limit them to not taking 20 hours in the first semester.
That would be under approval. I mean, it's rare
I'm not gonna
that
let
we, yeah. It's
What?
rare.
And I'm not gonna
that-
let them do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Not their first semester.
But if they want to.
They have a really good case. I make them make an argument. There's actually a form they fill out with an advisor signature, and they have to make an argument as to why they need to do it, not just that they want to do it. So there are legitimate cases where we do approve beyond 17, 18 hours, but up to 20. Board policy is the absolute maximum is 21 in a long semester. That's a very rare request, but we get one every 3 or 4 years.
Do we need a motion to
Yes, sir, please.
accept the proposal?
We do.
Looks like I moved.
Second.
Got a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of the changes in the student handbook,
Aye.
say aye.
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 Motion passed. Consider an act on changes in the catalog
Thank you,
for
Mark.
23-24.
Dr. Underwood will present those.
So again, you should have a summary list of page numbers and descriptions of the changes assigned to either the page or the range of pages. So I'm not sure how, there's at least 50 lines there, and then some of them have multiple pages, so I'll not take you through each one if you'll forgive me for that. However, I'm certainly happy to answer questions if you need some clarification, if you have a concern about anything. One of the big ones, of course, is right in the middle of the page on your first page there, pages 68, 69, the updated tuition fee schedules. Those, of course, y'all have already approved as a board in a prior meeting, so they were eligible to be put in here after y'all's approval. A number of the things in here, of course, are updates to staff and to personnel, other sorts of personnel, faculty. A good number of the changes are dictated by changes in legislation or in co-board policy. So, for example, the TSI, if you'll notice, about 10 down on the first side there, page 51, updated TSI exemption standards. Those are not things that we decide as an institution. Those come down to us through the co-board rules and regulations. So we simply put those in here because we have to.
On page 86, will you change the SWTJC?
Yes, that is one of the catalog issues, will be all the numbers of times that either the full name or the letter combination occurs. We'll do one of those search and change things in the file. Fantastic, yes.
Is the catalog printed every year?
Well, it's not literally printed
It's online.
every year, except maybe 4 or 5 literal print copies, because some folks just like to have one on their desk. The online catalog is the official catalog because it can be amended immediately upon some necessary change.
So you'll change it tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
We'll start
I
changing
can,
it.
I can ask the folks who know how to do it online to start changing it tomorrow, yes, sir.
Well, thank you. Do we need a motion to consider those changes?
Yes, sir, please.
Did someone move?
You moved?
Second.
We've got a motion. Anybody
I'll
want a
second
second? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. We'll now go into closed session to consider personnel matters. The board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.074, to consider employment-related matters.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's now 7:30, and we're going to reconvene in open session prior to the next item on our agenda, which is to
Ready for a
Adjourn.
motion to
We-
adjourn.
we
I
would-
move.
We would like to dedicate the memory of Ann Tarski as the recipient of our blessing. Adjourn this meeting in her honor.
Okay, I move we adjourn.
Second motion.
I'll take
All in favor?
Aye.
Get up and leave.